Welcome to episode 72 of Tools in the Hall. After Dark. I got a cool handgun to show you afterwards, so stick around. And I want to start out with a brand new announcement, if you'd be so kind. Check out my new YouTube channel called Texas Homespun. It's brand new, and you have the opportunity to be one of the first subscribers, so please head on over there and check it out. It's about the rural Texas lifestyle. If you like cooking, baking, taking care of animals, raising chickens, gardening, it's all going to be content that my wife and I share with you. So it's a complete change of pace from what we do on this channel. There's no talking. It's just some nice, pleasant music overlaying some video of my wife and I doing some cool things around the homestead and in the house, and just, you know, living our best life outside of what you see in the Tool channel. So kindly check that out. Give it a like and a subscribe. Watch the videos. They come out every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. All right, now, on with the tools. And we're going to start first with a story. Here in this bubble wrap, I have an Autel MS909, yes, Diagnostic scanner. It's in the plastic wrap because it's going back to a customer after I had sent it in for repair. It's a strangely long tale to tell about such a simple issue. So let's start at the beginning. Years ago, the shop bought this scanner, and years later, it had a problem with the charging port where it wasn't taking a charge at all. So my customer asked me if I could send it in for him and have Autel take a look, and I did. And they gave us a quote. And originally my customer declined the quote, so we had the unit sent back to us. And then my customer changed his mind, got approval from the shop to pay for the repair, so we sent it back to Autel. It told them to go ahead with the original quote for the repair. And it was an expensive repair. It was like $1,200 for the repair because they had to, in essence, just revamp the whole unit. They were going to take the case off of this one, put on a replacement unit and send it back, but all the guts are going to be replaced. So we told them to go ahead. And they said they would, but it's going to cost $1,200 that they originally quoted plus $1,300 because of the damaged charging port. They said they saw signs of abuse and therefore had to charge an additional $1,300. Well, for the original $1,200, they were replacing the unit. So why would they care if the charging port had any degree of damage, let alone if it was abused, because that was getting replaced? We had a number of back and forth conversations in an email about this. And the technician I was talking to, or the customer service rep, whoever it was, on Autel's end, dug his heels in. And he kept saying, nope, that's just what it is. And I kept saying, but the unit's going to be replaced. Why is there an additional charge for a port? And even if there was an additional charge, justify why it would cost $1,300 to address the issue with the port, especially when the whole thing was getting addressed anyway. And I don't know if he quite understood where I was coming from, because we were at kind of loggerheads with this back and forth. And I called, spoke to somebody else entirely, explained the situation, and they said they'd have to kick it up to management. And then before too much longer after that, we got a reply from a manager saying, our bad on the $1,300. Don't worry about it. We'll do the whole thing for the original $1,200 as we discussed. So we said, okay, go ahead with that. So it was bizarre that we were in a situation like that. I wanted to chalk it up to simply a miscommunication or a misunderstanding. And I'm glad that it was resolved the way it was, because you've heard me say in the past how much I really enjoyed how far Autel has come with their customer service. And I dreaded the thought that they would take a huge step backwards in that, because they really did make some genuine and beneficial advancements in customer service, to the point where I felt very good about recommending Autel, or at least supporting a customer's decision to purchase an Autel unit, because I felt confident that there would not be a problem with any after-sale support. And hitting this snag with them really gave me a bad taste, and I was not too pleased, and I kind of dreaded what that might mean for the future. But luckily, their manager stepped in, took care of the problem, resolved it easy as could be. So that's where we stand today. That unit has just come back fully repaired, and now will go back to my customer. I kind of feel like I have been dedicating a lot of these episodes to a friend and really good customer, Sammy Salinas, because if you saw the last episode, we had a Cerakote job on a handgun that he did, and he was really happy with the way it came out. I was really stoked when I first saw it too. But on this tool haul, we have a couple of things that are for him as well. So, Sammy, this one's for you again, buddy. This came in off a back order. This is a collapsible stool from Vim. They have a couple of different ones. This is the one with a higher weight rating. This one supports up to 350 pounds. Their other one supports 250 pounds. And the way these work are, you just expand it and you have to twist it to make sure that all your little nubs lock in place here. And when they do, you now have a stool capable of supporting 350 pounds. And you can adjust this in height. You don't have to lock it in its fully extended position. You can collapse it and lock it in again to get something even shorter. Just make sure that when you undo them, you make sure all the little nubs are taken out of their little nesting spots there so that you can collapse it. Has a nylon carrying handle. Terrific for taking to the ball game or camping or taking to the races or wherever you might find yourself in need of a seat. Very light, easy to carry. What a great idea. Now, originally, I first saw these, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I was very wary, thinking that perhaps they were not as durable as they might need to be, but fear not, they are in fact rather durable. They do support quite a bit of weight. This guy's rated for 350 pounds, which for something that's made out of plastic, I'm very impressed with what it can do. And I've seen now this one and their lighter weight one that has been a solid seller for, I want to say, a couple of years. And I sold a bunch of them. No one's been unhappy with them. Everyone loves them. So as far as I'm concerned, there's something I can wholly recommend based on other people's feedback. So Sammy, this one's for you. And also for Sammy, we have from Electronic Specialties, or a company called ESI, the Diagnostic Relay Buddy. This one is for 12 and 24 volt systems. It has your base unit and then different relay testers that plug into the unit and has leads that plug into your power supply. Has a whole set of adapters, test shielded relays, and new relay types. If the relay fails, one of 3 diagnostic codes indicates what the problem is, and it tests 5 of the most popular relay types. 12 or 24 volts, powered from the battery. It's quick, it's easy, and they do have 12 volt only versions of this kit, but this kit right here is good for the multi-volt application. So Sammy, this one's for you, bud. Thanks for all the business, man. I really appreciate it, and I will be seeing you. You'll. No, actually, because I'm shooting this, actually, it's Sunday morning at 12:40 a.m. This video is going live in just a few hours, so it'll be up at 10 o'clock. So I will see you after I shoot this video for the first time, so I'll catch you on Wednesday. Storytime 2.0. This is an M18 5 amp hour battery from Milwaukee. New one came back after I sent it in for a warranty claim. The story's not about this battery, it's about a different battery. I had a customer using an M18 5 amp hour battery on a 1/2-inch high torque impact. He said while he was using it, the case separated where the top plate goes on, it's screwed in with 4 screws. He said 2 of the screws pulled out and the case had separated, and where the screws had gone in to the base part of the unit, the threads there broke and the case separated. It was bulging from the inside. So we sent it into we sent two of them in Milwaukee, and two of them do the same thing, which I had never seen anywhere else before. And I would think that he was fibbing me if I didn't know him so well. I know him to be a very honest guy. I have been doing business with him since the first day I was in business, and that's been 9 years. So I know him to be a very honest, straightforward guy. So I had no reason to doubt what he told me. So we send two batteries into Milwaukee. They send back one new one, and we're waiting for the other one. And then they told us that the warranty claim was declined because they said there was excessive damage done to the battery. Well, just because it was excessive doesn't mean it was caused by the customer. It doesn't mean it wasn't a manufacturing defect. So we called them. We said, okay, what's up with that? They said, well, we have to deny the claim. We said, okay, then what do we do now? Because they've never denied us a claim before. They said, well, we dispose of the battery. And I said, you can't dispose of the battery. It's not yours. It belongs to my customer. And they said, oh, no. That's what we did. We can't ship it back because of the state it was in. We're not allowed to ship an open battery. That's FedEx's rules or something. So I said, well, what do we do? We're at an impasse now because I need a battery because it didn't belong to you. It wasn't yours to throw away. And if you can't send that battery back, you have to send us something. And this went back and forth for a strangely long time. Finally, I guess I just spoke to the right person at Milwaukee, and she acquiesced, and she said, okay, I'll send you a new battery back. I'm like, thanks. Why was that so difficult? But it may have been a case of just getting the wrong person, or just maybe they had someone there who was just a stickler for some policy they have. But warranty is a warranty. If it wasn't caused by any misuse on the customer, Milwaukee's got to cover it. They did. They stepped up and they did the right thing by me and my customers. So good on you, Milwaukee. I just wish that one wasn't such a weird one. Considering I sent you another battery in the same condition, and that one was replaced without question. So I don't know. Chalk it up to a fluky thing, I guess. But I hated to think there for a week or two that both Autel and Milwaukee were going to give me some negative things to report to you, but they both stepped up, saved the day, did right by the customer, and everything is golden. So still love Milwaukee for all the reasons that I've always loved Milwaukee. Still love Autel for all those reasons too, and we're continuing to roll forward. There are a few brands on the market that have this magnetic toolbox tray set. This one is from KTool. It's the least expensive of all the ones that are available. So this is the one that I normally get. This one is a special order for somebody because I didn't have any on the truck at the time. He wanted one. So it has a tray for cans with smaller holes for screwdrivers, and then a small parts tray and a larger parts tray, plus a towel roll holder. Now, you may not use that to hold towels. A lot of guys don't. Some guys will take these and just turn them up 90 degrees so the spindle's facing up, and they'll hang jackets, shirts, or boots on them to air out. Rather strong magnets on these so you can stick them to your tool cart or toolbox, or an upright post on a lift, or some other place where you need to keep parts and tools handy. This guy is a great tool to keep in your organization arsenal, because the more organized you are, the more efficient you are, and the more efficient you are, the more money you're going to make. So this guy is just one of those ways that you can make a little bit more money by staying a little bit more efficient. And you couple this together with lots of different ways to introduce efficiencies into your day, and you'll find that this, compared with in conjunction with a lot of other things, is going to save you time, and that's going to make you more money. If you're looking for a battery-operated ratchet, Milwaukee's M12 fuel line is top-notch. This is their extended high-speed ratchet. This is the 3/8 drive version, and it takes any of the M12 batteries, 35 foot-pounds of torque. Just a great, great ratchet, because this is their newest design that has the compact head and it's high speed. It used to be that Milwaukee was not top of the heap in the ratchet game. Snap-on had that title, I think, for a long time, because they came out with some really good designs that people loved, and Milwaukee was a little behind. Before they came out with the long reach ratchets, they had these really clunky large head ratchets and no one liked those. And then they finally got a smaller head on those. Great. And then they came out with an extended version, but those had the big clunky head on them. Hardly anyone bought those. But now, not only did they give it a nice compact head, but they cranked up the speed. So now you have RPMs of 450. Compare that to the, I think, 200 on their standard speed ratchets, and you've more than doubled your RPM. So this is terrific for running nuts and bolts on and off. I wouldn't necessarily break stuff loose with this because it's only rated at 35 foot-pounds. But remember, it is a ratchet, which means you don't have to use it by pulling the trigger. You can't use it conventionally like your manual ratchet. But still, don't break stuff loose that's too tight. You want to use a wrench for that, and then use this to run it on or off. And these are a huge time saver. So when you're looking at things like your organization and your speed and other things to introduce efficiencies into your workday, this and other high-speed ratchets like it from Milwaukee are terrific ways to build an extra time in your day, cut down on the repair time you're spending on vehicles so that you can flag more hours during the day, during the week, and during the month and year. That can equate to thousands of dollars in your pocket. I'm stoked to be showing you more stuff from Vim because I have had a lot of comments with guys saying, hey, you should carry Vim. And I guess I don't do nearly as good a job at touting them as I should because I do carry them. And I love their stuff, and I love the company from what I know about them. They got a cool YouTube channel, so check that out while you're checking out YouTube stuff. And there's a couple of great guys that do presentations on tools and Vim as a company, and they're fun to watch, and they got great information. So I do love Vim. I like their tools. I do carry them a lot. I try to highlight some of their stuff in my flyer drop videos, and every chance I get to show you cool tools from them, I do. This is a quarter drive set of extra deep sockets. How about that? Comes in a foam tray, and this is size 7 through 15. They don't have the deepest flutes in the world. So just know that going in. But you get long reach with these, and you can probably run them down a stud before you bottom out fairly decently. 6-point sockets. A really nice like satin finish on these. Quarter drive. Just a cool set. And then pop the foam out of the box, lay it in your toolbox or tool cart, and get yourself a really nice set of super deep sockets. A customer asked me to get these for him, so it's a special order. And then, strangely, somebody else asked me to get in the same set not too long after, which I thought was really interesting because usually you see that kind of thing at the same shop. But these weren't from the same shop. This is two different guys at two different shops, both wanting the same set of extra deep sockets. So, cool purchase. I hope they find a lot of good use from it. I think the last few tool hauls, I've been showing you the Power Probe 3. This guy is the indispensable diagnostic tool. It does a few things. It's a voltmeter. There's a bad ground indicator, short circuit indicator. You can test relays and components by injecting 12-volt power into a component. How cool is that? So you can rule out the component itself right away as the point of failure. And if you have to inject 5 volts to check electronic subsystems, you just pull this probe off, and there's an adapter that you buy separately that you just plug into the tool and then plug the probe onto the tool, and now you're injecting 5 volts of power. Make sure you use that if you need it. Do not inject 12 volts of power into a 5-volt system. You're going to fry the system. And my friend Cass from Speedwrench is watching this, I know, and he's going to say, hey, I know a few tricks with this guy that a lot of people don't know, and it's true. It does a few things in addition to what they tell you in the book that you might find very interesting. Initially, it might be a little confusing to get to understand this if you struggle with electronics and electrical systems. So once you learn this, it'll make your life a whole lot easier. And there's a lot of really good resources. It comes with a lot of resources in the package, but there are a lot of great YouTube videos of people showing you both in real life and classroom and lab applications how to use this. Once you get it, it's gonna help you up your diagnostic game a numberfold, because it's gonna separate you from guys that kind of struggle not knowing where to begin with troubleshooting. It's gonna help you streamline your troubleshooting process, and it's gonna hasten how long it takes you to nail down the cause of a particular electrical issue. They come in different colors. This one's red. They come in green. They have a carbon fiber print. I think they have a camo print, a flame print. They have all kinds of different covers for this, but the customer wanted red, so this is what I'm getting them. I normally stocked a green one on the truck, but I'm out of them right now. In between the time I sold out the last one and I've gotten a restock in, he wanted this one. So this one just came in, but there'll be more coming in because I have to restock again. These things sell all the time. They're terrific units. The de facto in the industry regarding this kind of diagnostic testing. I don't know of anyone else that has one similar. Snap-on does or did, but people tend to like the price on this one and the functionality a little bit better. It's not as complicated as a Power Probe 4. It doesn't do nearly as many things, but it does what it does extremely well. And most everybody is going to have a chance to use this, whereas the Power Probe 4, it has a lot of functions you may not ever use. If you work on large trucks or buses and you have the recessed lug nuts in the rear wheels, you're going to need an extra deep socket like this from Gray Pneumatic. It's a 1/2 inch drive, 33 millimeters, which is equivalent to 1 5/16 of an inch. So either one will work for your wheel lug nuts. Lifetime warranty on these things. They're not cheap, but you only have to ever buy one because Gray Pneumatic stands behind these guys 100%. Just know that if you buy a Gray Pneumatic product and you need a warranty service, you must go through an authorized dealer, like myself. You cannot go directly through Gray Pneumatic. So just make sure that you know that going in. Companies like Sunex, for example, that make similar products to Gray Pneumatic, you can go directly to the manufacturer if you don't have a dealer nearby. But Gray Pneumatic has a selection in impact tools that nobody else has. All Gray Pneumatic makes are impact tools. So whether it's a socket, adapter, extension, specialty driver, you name it, if it's impact, these guys have got it. So it might be your best choice for getting an impact grade tool. Just know that you're gonna have to go through a dealer to get it taken care of under warranty. From Prevost, this is the Quick Connect air coupling. Female threads on the end that goes into the hose, and the Quick Connect coupling for the fitting that goes in your tool. And there's a push button here, and you press that to release the fitting. These are strangely expensive for what they are. They cost $32 on the truck. There'll be less other places, obviously, but remember, this is tool truck pricing that we're talking about. So you can buy the regular brass ones with the sliding collar, but a lot of guys don't like that. They prefer this design. And for those guys, the price is worth it. You'll also see some shops that completely outfit all their airlines with these because they're that much faster. And when we're talking about saving time, this is one of those ways you can do that. It might only be a few seconds every time you need to use it, but how many times are you going to use it during the day? Multiply that times how many times during the week and a month and a year, and you find that those seconds add up to minutes, those minutes add up to hours. This, in conjunction with organizational tips and tricks that you come up with, coupled with things like a high-speed ratchet that just helps you move faster. All these things are ways to build in efficiency so that you can reach the peak of your game and you can be the fastest you can possibly be, and the $32 that this costs you will pay for itself before too long in the amount of time that it saves you in switching out tools. Gearwrench makes a really good ratcheting pass-through wrench. And this is the largest size they have, and it broke. And the customer gave it to me, and as I looked for its replacement, I realized it had been discontinued. So I have to contact Apex Tool Group, which is Gearwrench's parent company, and find out what I can do to help the customer. So I hope I'm not completely out of luck that I can get him something comparable, but I don't know. It's a bummer when a good tool has been discontinued and then a customer winds up needing to take care of it under warranty. So I don't yet have an alternative, but I wanted to show this to you and also introduce you to just one of the things that plagues the tool guy after he gets off the truck, and that is some phone calls, maybe some emails. We go back and forth between our distributor, between Apex. And when I say me, I mean mostly my wife. She's going to handle this thing because she works with our vendors on things like this mostly. Sometimes she asks me to come and help out, and between the two of us, we'll figure it out. But I just don't know what the solution is yet because we've never come up against this particular problem before. Sometimes they have tools like this available, but like for example, there's a smaller version of this wrench that they have, but only as part of a kit. So if the wrench itself breaks, I can't swap out the wrench. I can swap out the whole kit, but then what happens if you've lost a socket or a piece of the kit over time? I have my hands tied like that, and it bums me out because usually what happens is guys have owned these tools for a long time, long before I knew them. So they come to me knowing I'm a Gearwrench dealer saying, what can you do for me? And I'm in the bind because it'd be one thing if I sold them something and I felt that obligation of having to make it right for them because they bought it from me initially. But I'm trying to make it right from something that was been purchased maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. I don't know. But a lifetime warranty is a lifetime warranty. So it's up to Apex to make it right. And I got to go to bat for the customer on this one, see what Apex says. And if they send us a new one, I'll show it to you. But in the meantime, I've got this broken wrench that we're going to try to figure out. And now it's time for Tool Haul After Dark. This is the Sig Sauer P320. What a terrific pistol. I'm a big fan of Sig anyway, so you don't have to convince me that the stuff is really good. I know it's good. I love their stuff. That's a great Picatinny rail for mounting a laser sight and or a light combat style trigger guard, stippled grip panels. Oh, let me take the plug out so you can see the sights. Easy to acquire sight picture using a standard white 3-dot sight. See that? Real easy slide spring, so it's simple to rack the slide. Very easy to take these things apart. You just have a takedown lever there, and the slide slides right off. Love these guns. They are perfectly affordable. The price on these is, I think it's under $500. And for something that's the quality of Sig Sauer, tough to beat. Comes with two 17-round magazines. This guy is chambered in 9mm. And it's very simple to operate. No external safety. An ambidextrous slide stop to hold it open. And that's it. Not the easiest gun to conceal because it is a full frame gun, but still, if you're a larger fella, you could certainly use this as a carry option. Great for the range. Good tactical gun. Love these things. We had a customer who was saving up for this gun for quite a while, and we helped people out by opening deposit accounts for them so they could put money in regularly to save up for guns that they want to buy. Then when the money is in the account, we get them the gun. Took him a little while to get there, but he got there. And then there was an unfortunate coincidence where I was in the process of renewing my federal firearms license, and that hit a little bit of a delay. So he was ready to go finally on getting the gun, but I'm like, I gotta wait until I get the final approval from the ATF. So that came through finally, and then everything's back to normal. But it was just kind of frustrating for both of us at the time because he's jonesing for the gun, and I'm dying to, get back to doing business the way I want. Finally, it all came together. He's getting his gun. We're back up and running. Doing our regular retail thing with the gun sales. But I find it interesting that the ATF will give you what they call an LOA, a letter of authorization. So if you're an FFL dealer and there's a delay in processing your renewal, they'll issue an LOA, and that says that it's okay for you to continue to operate until you get the license. And I find that interesting. If they're going to issue a letter saying it's okay, just issue the license. So I don't know anything about their internal procedures or their operation. It just seems kind of odd that if you can generate something that's saying it's okay, make it be the license, don't make it be a letter. But the distributors and the wholesalers, they'll all accept the LOAs. So until that came through, I had to kind of put everything on pause. It only took a few weeks, but then the LOA came through and I have to give the LOA to all my distributors. And then when my renewed license came through, I had to give all those to my distributors. So it just took a while to get back to where we wanted to be. But we're there now. Customers getting his gun should be this week, and we'll be running like normal. So thanks so much for watching. Please check out my second channel, Texas Homespun, and you'll be able to see how my wife and I do things around our house and our property. Maybe pick up some cool recipes and cooking techniques, stuff that I've been working on for years that I thought might be a fun and interesting YouTube channel. So please check that out. Kindly subscribe and let's boost those numbers up and get another channel up and running in earnest. And do me a favor and keep watching this channel because we've got some really cool things coming down the line. It's the start of a new quarter, which means we have a new flyer drop video going to come out. I'll show you all the highlights and some of the lowlights. Luckily, there's been a lot of price drops this quarter. So the pricing in this flyer is some of the lowest I've seen in a long time. I also have 2 air tools on the bench that are getting repaired. One of them is a 3/4 inch impact from Mako. The other is a 1/2 inch impact from Chicago Pneumatic. It'll be fun to take that thing apart because I haven't had this version of the impact taken apart before. So it'll be fun to learn as we go. And of course, we'll always have more Tools in the Hall videos. So do me a favor. Click down here to subscribe now so you don't miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, use a tool. Don't be one.